Welcome to the PAC Football Report for September 27th, 2025. I'm Joe Onderko. This week we will take a quick look back at the opening of league play action in the President's Athletic Conference last Saturday, while also previewing Week 4 contests this weekend. 4 PAC teams opened conference play Saturday with wins over league opponents. Westminster edged Case Western Reserve 28-23 under the lights in Cleveland. Geneva also improved to 1-0 in conference play, posting a 55-35 offensive shootout victory against St. Vincent in Beaver Falls. Waynesburg and Hiram saw their game delayed by 4 hours at halftime due to lightning, before the Yellow Jackets finally held off the Terriers 35-27 with a goal line interception in the final minute. Finally, Allegheny snapped an 11-game losing streak with a dominant defensive performance in a 26-0 home shutout of Thiel. Grove City, Washington and Jefferson and Bethany all had the weekend off. PAC Players of the Week in Week 3 included Geneva junior quarterback Caleb Romano on offense, with a school record 484 passing yards and a conference record tying 7 TD passes, along with a rushing TD versus St. Vincent. Defensive honors went to Allegheny junior D lineman Michael Shank, with 5 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, as the Gators posted their first shutout since 2019. Special teams laurels went to Westminster sophomore returner Bright Cannon, with a 100-yard kickoff return TD to go along with 126 receiving yards at Case. Newcomer of the week was Waynesburg freshman DB Marcus Crum Jr. with 2 interceptions versus Hiram, including the game clincher in the final minute. Week 4 features 5 league contests, while Westminster has the bye week. Highlighting the slate is a matchup of 2024 league co-champions, as 1-1 and 18th-ranked Grove City hosts 0-2 Washington and Jefferson in the Wolverines' annual night game at Thorne Field at 7 p.m. The Presidents have dominated the all-time series 45-14 dating back to 1893 and edged GCC 27-19 in Washington last season. But the Wolverines won the last matchup in Grove City 31-24 in 2023. President head coach Mike Sirianni previews the heavyweight PAC opener for both teams.
You know, we got to avoid turnovers and maybe cause some, but honestly, we haven't scored when we got in the red zone. We've had multiple chances inside the red zone, both our first 2 games, and if we score, every time we're in the red zone, obviously we're in a different situation.
Another team opening conference play this Saturday is 0-2 Bethany, which after a Week 3 bye welcomes 0-2-1 Case Western Reserve to Bison Stadium for a 2 p.m. kickoff. The Bison lead the all-time series 15-9 dating back to the first meeting in 1970. But the Spartans have dominated recently with 9 straight wins, with the last Bethany win in the series being a 25-14 win in Cleveland in 2014. Bison head coach Brandon Robinson talks about how his program approached the bye week while preparing for Case.
Coming off the bye, we were going to start conference play, and we knew the urgency that we had to have. We knew that we had to go back to the basics in some areas, especially, we have some injuries at key positions, and we need to, finally take some time and catch some individuals up to speed.
It's homecoming weekend in Greenville as 0-3 Thiel hosts 1-2 Waynesburg at Alumni Stadium at 3 p.m. The all-time series dates back to 1913, with the Yellow Jackets holding a 34-10-1 record against the Tomcats, including a 37-10 win in Waynesburg a year ago. However, Thiel won the last matchup in Greenville, topping Waynesburg 15-14 in 2023. Tomcat head coach Sam Bauman talks about the special homecoming atmosphere on the Thiel campus.
I think it's a really cool atmosphere, and it just leads to a better game day environment. So it's fun to have a lot more people at the game and a lot more people supporting you. So I'm never mad at that.
In other Week 4 PAC contests, 1-2 Geneva travels to Meadville to face 1-2 Allegheny, with both teams looking to improve to 2-0 in league play. The series between the programs dates back to 1899, with the GTs holding a 25-17-4 all-time advantage, including a 27-21 victory last season in Beaver Falls. Finally, 1-2 Hiram travels to Latrobe for a 1 p.m. kickoff against 1-2 St. Vincent at Chuck Knoll Field. It's the first ever meeting on the gridiron between the Bearcats and the Terriers. That's all for this edition of the PAC Football Report. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league information. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Onderko. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.